Chris, it's good to see you. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for finding the time, and welcome to Moscow, I should say.
Thank you. First time here.
Absolutely. I hope you enjoy it.
It's a new experience.
Yeah, the snow's finally going, which is, I think, important for your job. You're going to find out where and how you can establish your beautiful garden that's going to happen in summer during the Moscow Flower Show in Gorky Park.
That's right, yes. I mean, it's a very interesting experience because I've left home with very similar conditions to those that you have here in Moscow. Mm-hmm. Our snow is just going, very belatedly, for the UK. So it's brought the same range of clothes with me pretty much to Moscow. But I think your spring kicks in a little bit faster than ours. Ours is still dragging its heels a little bit, but yours will, I think, happen overnight almost.
But then the beauty, I think, with English spring is that it lasts for a bit, whereas here you get a week of spring and then bam, it's hot. Yeah,
although I think we trade a bit of heat, to be honest, at the moment. Given the last winter and summer that we had, it was pretty abysmal weather. But the nice thing is bringing a show garden to the show here, because it may look as though it's just an English garden being imposed in Moscow, but there's lots of subtle changes that we're making in terms of the range of plants that we're able to grow. And it's perhaps surprising just how many of the plants that I use at home can also be cultivated in Moscow. Trees and shrubs and herbaceous perennials, bulbs. There are a few which are a struggle at home, which we wouldn't even dare to try here, but many are okay.
Absolutely, which I find surprising because England is known as the land of green, and I think it's due to the fact that the air is very moist there, whereas here it's pretty dry. Are these plants going to be able to survive once you leave?
Well, I hope so. The plan is that you always try and mirror the conditions that a plant would grow in the wild, and that's a great lesson for gardeners. That find out where the plant grows in the wild, and then if you have those conditions, or you can create those conditions relatively easily in your own garden, then the plant is likely to be very happy there. So with things like hostas and ferns, the more sort of woodlandy plants, sure, you definitely need to make sure that you've got shade and high humidity and plenty of moisture, so shade of buildings, shade of trees, that sort of thing. But with the sun lovers, the real sun lovers that like basking in the summer sunshine, then really the world's their oyster, and they'll revel in both the park here, but also ultimately in the finished garden at the hospital.
Your new book is coming out as well.
Yes.
Very, very soon.
Yes, it's coming out in the next couple of weeks, actually. It's called 100 Plants, and it's a somewhat irreverent look at the relationship between people and plants, and the way in which some plants have been treated, and the way that we've explored the world according to plants. So, for instance, it talks of Columbus travelling into the Americas and coming across
tobacco, didn't he?
That's right, yes. Coming across pineapples and the reintroduction of pineapple into Europe, and the fact that the pineapple became revered as a symbol of ultimate hospitality. So if ever you go anywhere in the world and you're presented with a pineapple, it is the ultimate gift, because it was such a rare fruit and so difficult to cultivate. And very often, of course, you see it in Western art. You see it represented in finials and on furniture, on mosaics. It's very
beautiful as well. It's very ornate.
It's a very complex fruit, and of course, having never seen it before, for that to have come back in to Europe, everyone marvelled at it. So it's the story of fruits like that, the way that they started to infiltrate into a wider society.
Very
sometimes the way in which they were misconceived, and the original ideas of plants that Victorians brought in, for instance, that sometimes they exhibited them for their beauty, but there was a subtle undercurrent where they were using them as a narcotic. And the Victorian ladies used to have a certain range of plants in their conservatory, and if they invited you to a tea party, they'd gently push their teacup under a plant called datura, or sometimes called brugmansia. Angel's trumpet has got a beautiful fluted flower, and when the nectar drips out of the flower, dripped into your tea, and it gave you an hallucinogenic experience, and that's what the Victorians spent their summers doing in their conservatories.
Incredible. When Peter the Great brought the potato to Russia, people didn't know what to do with it, and they tried smoking it.
That's right. Well, of course, there's a great story about Peter the Great and the potato, and the fact that at the same time the potato was brought in, the dahlia was introduced from South America, and the southern European states wanted to use the potato as a floral crop, and they wanted to use the dahlia as an edible crop. And
Brilliant.
It was only because all of the dahlia crop were wiped out in a frost that they started to eat the potato crop. And that's another story in the book.
We're quite lucky, because now our cuisine is very highly based on potatoes. Yeah. And the flowers aren't that great. They're cute, small.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you,
You're welcome.
Chris.
Thank
All
you
the
very
best, and welcome to Moscow. Looking forward to seeing you again this summer.
Well, we look forward to seeing you on the garden. Thank you.